All right. Well, I guess let's get this party boating.
This treasure cruise.
This treasure cruise a cruising?
Yes.
Treasure cruise pulling into the port.
Wow.
I think that's how we're going to start the show off.
Excellent.
All right. Hello, everybody. It's me, Brennon, your lovable host, along with Sam. Say hello, Sam.
Hello, Sam. I hope everybody's having a wonderful week.
I think they are. I'm going to assume they are, because I don't want to have any more depressing news. But this week, we have some PREs and some leagues to discuss. Leagues pertinent to this format. What happened this week in Standard Pauper? Over the weekend, had an SPDC. 17 players, 17 decks reported. Thank you all again for reporting all your decks so I can actually see what went up against what. I appreciate that. 3 rounds. Swiss top 4 playoff. Here's your top 4. Izzet Control by Dr. Baker. Mono Red by Maltercio. Mono Black Control by Alcerin. And Tokens, which is a white deck, by Flying Men. Okay, let's look at the winner. Izzet Control by Dr. Chris Baker. Very interesting deck. You'll notice there are no creature cards. Not to say that there aren't creatures, but it is very control-y, very grindy, and it features no creatures in the main. We only have Coral Barrier in the sideboard, which is actually kind of cool. Okay, sorcery. Have 4 Divination, 4 Flurry of Horns, there's your first creature, 4 Rise of Eagles, there's your second. Treasure Cruise, Tormenting Voice. I really like Tormenting Voice. We'll kind of talk about that a little bit. 2 Traveler's Amulet for some fixing. 4 Lightning Strike, 4 Magma Spray for some burn. 4 Nullify for the counters, which is highly tuned for this meta. 4 Voyage's End. And then for the land, 9 islands, 5 mountains, 4 Evolving Wild, and 4 Swiftwater Cliffs. So, you have 22 lands and 2 Traveler's Amulets. Every hand that I virtually drew with this, I never was wanting for mana. Sideboard. 3 Disdainful Stroke, 2 Force Away, 3 Negate, 4 Scouring Sands for those tokens, and the Coral Barrier. I'm assuming the Coral Barrier is there for the Rapid Red, a lot of hasty creatures.
Yeah, I would think it would be the anti-red heroic card. Mm-hmm. And it's not super bad against blue decks, because you get the Island Walking token.
Oh, yeah.
So
if you can build up that Island Walker with anything.
Well, he doesn't really, there's nothing really in it.
Oh, yeah, not this one. I'm just saying in general.
No.
Coral Barrier. Island Walk is not irrelevant.
No, not at all, especially when you got the tempo to keep it, alive and stuff. So, No, I like, he went 5-0.
Yeah.
So
he wrote on his blog, he goes, "It's a flawless victory." Well, not really, but close enough, which I thought was kind of funny.
I think he lost 2 games, but that's still.
Yeah, who cares?
Look at the deck. I haven't built it, but it doesn't necessarily have what you would consider to be a modern mana curve. It's super top heavy, and I know you're casting Treasure Cruise for cheap.
Exactly.
But just your win conditions are Flurry's 5 and Rise is 6 or 7.
Yeah, Rise is 6, Flurry is 5, Treasure is 8. It's a hell of a curve.
You would not put Dark Confident in this stack. No,
no, you would die.
No, not that that's an option. kind of the dodgy card I see in it. The 2-off Traveler's Amulet. It seems really unique.
Yeah.
To me. And then... Oh, go ahead.
I would say, to me, Traveler's Amulets are there for Evolving Wilds 5 and 6 to get you your lands and to throw something in there for Treasure Cruise to eat.
Yeah, and the Tormenting Voice is a good choice for that too, because that's 2 cards and they basically replenish themselves in your hand. And then Magmas Ray, I've been playtesting it a lot, thinking it was a good answer for heroic decks. And against mono red heroic, it actually does pretty good because they don't have the level of tricks that mono white heroic has. Mono white heroic with God's Willing, Ajani's Presence, and Feat of Resistance. That deck is a pain to get around right now.
Right.
And they have the best heroic creatures at common too. So I'm not sure where the answer for that deck lies yet. I don't know if Dr. Chris ran into that, though. I'm going to go to the webpage real quick
to see which ones. Yeah, let's see. PDCmagic, everybody, is where we go to check these out. SPDC for this past weekend.
Munsabi won tonight with a deck called I Love Me Some Islands.
Awesome.
That's very, very cool.
Let's see. Round 1, Dr. Baker went up against a
mirror match.
Izzet? Yeah. Void Snare. But this one doesn't have the flurry and whatnot. It's just kind of Land Scout, a Bloodfire Expert, it's a different approach to it. Round 2, one against Russell in the Bushes, which is black and green.
That is not a good looking deck.
No, those went 1 and 2.
17 lands. No, that's not right. Okay, there's the rest of the deck. Yeah. It's a lot better when you can take into account the cards that aren't in.
Right.
Okay.
And then round 3 against white green heroic. Interesting.
Beat Nick Bobby rocking the Selesnya heroic.
Yeah. He never answered my question. I asked why was he doing 61. I never got a response. Tokens, which is the mono white deck. He beat that. The only one, the Selesnya heroic, is only one he lost a game to, and then mono red he beat straight up. Pretty good.
See, that's a weird mono white deck, because it's only got the 3 God's Willings that target.
Yeah, I would definitely go. I'd do as many targeting as I possibly could.
Yeah, and maybe cut out.
I'd cut. I don't know if I'd put Trip Spirits personally.
The Bondkins?
Nah, no Bondkin. I could never get Bondkin to do anything for me.
Or the Horde Chief. The Bondkin's in a weird position because you wouldn't think it taking a turn off to do its thing to get the +1/+1 counter, +1/+1 counter would be that big of a deal, but this format has so much tempo to it.
It's huge.
Yeah, you can't really take off. Look, Siegecraft on the sideboard.
Yeah.
So he's just copying your tech.
Build them up. Hey, it can work. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at what this deck does. Here's an opening hand. I love this island card, by the way. The ice, so cool.
What is that from?
That's from Khans of Tarkir, man.
Wow, I don't have any Khans lands.
Yep, I got like a box.
I'm gonna get those in foil.
Oh, I bet they'd be sweet looking.
Yes, shiny.
2 islands, 2 swift water cliffs, which is such an awesome card. A lightning strike, a tormenting voice, and a rise of eagles. You're already on your way to get that rise of eagles going. You have Lightning Strike and Tormenting Voice. I am going to keep it because of the Tormenting Voice.
I would keep it because of the Lightning Strike, 4 lands, 22 life.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got tons of lines of play to end this opening hand.
You've got time.
Yeah. And even then, like, oh, I didn't draw a land. Well, Rise of Eagles is 5 turns off. Let's Tormenting Voice it away.
Yep, exactly.
Draw into some more gas. I mean, this is a solid opening hand.
I think so, too. Let's see what the next 6 gives us. Nullify. Not bad. It keeps the control action happening. Magma Spray. 2 damage to target creature. So any kind of early creature, you would probably have a decent chance on early creatures for them to be tapping out for it, if you're lucky. But anyway, I think Magma Spray can work out in the current meta. We'll see. Next is Traveler's Amulet. So what you have, you already have your fixing with this Traveler's Amulet. I haven't got another land, so we haven't got the 6th land. So at this point, you could probably pitch, the Rise of Eagles to see what else you get. And if you did that here, it's going to kind of mess up the way I have it. But let's just pretend. Get a Lightning Strike, a Voyage's End, and a Mountain. So you're doing pretty good for yourself right now. Very control-y. I think you can just keep them off balance. Keep drawing your spells. Keep disrupting their creatures and their actions. And I think you got it.
Yeah, I mean, 3 sources of burn, 1 counter, 1 bounce spell, the amulet, and knowing that you have 4 treasure cruises in your deck makes you more likely to start burning cards to get it, cheaper cost. So you don't have any problems with lightning striking, magma spraying instead of holding them for longer into the game.
Yeah, there's a reason that burn decks are now including Treasure Cruise.
Because it's freaking awesome.
Yeah. You're going to be filling up your yard with crap you're never going to get back anyway, so why not?
Yeah. I mean, it's running in decks with flashback cards. It's running in decks that shouldn't necessarily want to run it, but it's just too much of a good gain. And then you have your flurry or your rise, even though you'd probably rather have that be a flurry this early.
Hasty Minotaurs.
Yes. Yeah. Some 2/3 beef. So
yeah, beef, so to speak.
Yes. So, but no, I mean, there's just looking over the list, and I did earlier on today. And I was like, that's why he went 5-1. I mean, because any of the removal in the format, like most of the removal in the format doesn't even kill. It doesn't kill Flurry of Horns, like the Black Enchantment doesn't get it. And then the Evils, they scry their enchantments. I mean, and they fly, so they've got that extra evasion. So
yeah, earlier we were talking about Sam and I that basically all the removal that's out there that we are going to play in Standard Pauper is only going to give you a 1/2 for 1. So when you cast Rise, you're getting 2 Eagles, you're getting 2 Minotaurs off of the Flurry of Horns. Someone uses a burn spell, someone uses a kill spell on one of them. You lost half a card. And they lost a full card.
They lost a full card.
And
that's a big deal.
Right, it is. It's crazy. It's going to keep you ahead of the game. Even if you're only ahead by half, you're still ahead. All right. He actually did a deck tech on this. If you go to his site, you can search YouTube for Chris Baker. I have the link here. I'll put it in the show notes as well. And he goes through it in really good detail and through each of the games that he won in the SPDC. It's pretty good. If you want to know how this deck ticks or how he wants it to, he'll tell you. Just go to this and look. I have the link here, like I said, and I'll put it in the show notes. All right, now we need to talk about MagicGatheringStrat Standard Pauper League. That's right, the next league choice was made, and that choice by Do4AU had the choice between Standard Pauper and Standard Silver Black, but he picked Standard Pauper. And like it says here, it is still a pretty wide open format, and it is the cheapest format. Oh yes, everyone has access to the cards. We talked about that last week, and this is what the new league is going to be. So, let's see. League rules and format dates. You have a couple of weeks to sign up. It'll start on the 14th. Posts go up first thing Friday morning, and you'll have until noon on Thursday to get the matches reported. It's the winner's responsibility to report, but both players are always welcome to chime in. Bava is doing this league. Sam had been doing the leagues, but folks, I'm here to tell you, doing leagues and whatnot takes a lot of work.
Yeah, and I thought I would take a little break. Bava was wanting to take over, and now seemed to be a good time to transition with the holidays coming up and everything.
Right.
Plus, I'm doing the November Mo month thing. And so I wanted to be able to dedicate a little more time to that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Bava seems to have jumped right in. And we're, by my last count, there were 22 people signed up. So that's pretty good. Mm-hmm. Roberto, during the tournament on Sunday, he advertised it, and we got some signups from that, so that was pretty good.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it getting rolling. I mean, I own every Standard Pauper card worth owning. So no Witches Familiars, folks.
No Witches Familiars.
No. But pretty much everything else. And you'd be surprised that you can really get most of the cards in the format outside of maybe like the Seder Hoplite or the other heroic red 1-drop that makes tokens. They're a little on the pricey side, but you're really looking at like 2-cent cards from MTGO Traders or one of the other big bots for pretty much everything else. So that was pretty awesome to do. I'm surprised, like, I didn't have Scryfish, so I picked up a set of those, and so, like, but I'm pretty flush with Standard Pauper cards right now, so pretty cool. Awesome, yeah.
Yeah, this league will be right up our alley. We get to report not only on SPDC and MPDC, but also be chiming in on what's going on with the league. Should be pretty cool.
And I'm actually happy that it didn't end up being the Standard Silver Black, because there are some really expensive uncommons right now.
Stoke the Flames.
Stoke
6
the
tickets.
Flames. I have my eye on you, boy. It's never like it dropped and it was immediately like almost 2 tickets, and then it just seems to have gotten out of control since then. So.
Right. I only have 1, and I got that out of a draft.
See, I think I passed one in the only M15 drafts I did.
Yeah.
And now I regret it because that's like 10 Standard Pauper decks.
Right.
I mean,
it's pretty nuts.
It is.
So, yep. That is the league number 3. Standard Pauper coming to a format near you. Here's where it is. Again, I'll put the link in the show notes. MagicGatheringStrat, go look for Community League update. League number 3, go sign up, play to win, try to have some fun, people. So
yeah.
We gotta remember, we're here to have fun, and if this becomes work, or it becomes all-encompassing, it's no longer fun, you might want to think about why you're playing and what you're playing for.
I mean, we've had spike players.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Do For You went undefeated in the last league. Deluxikov went undefeated in the top 8 in the first league.
Mm-hmm.
We've had some spiky players. We've had some great players join the leagues. But at the same time, they're courteous. They joke around. They know there's not really anything on the line besides, playing games and getting to know people.
Exactly.
So that's part of the joy of these leagues. If Wizards gets their leagues running before the end of the year, it's going to be for prizes, and it's not going to be as chill.
Yeah. No, people are going to be out for blood.
No, like everything that they do.
Exactly.
And the first time it crashes or whatever, Brian Kibler will threaten to quit again.
There'll be
and they
wailing
keep showing
and
up at
gnashing of teeth.
PTQs and stuff.
Exactly.
Sorry, that's my anti-Kibler rant of the week.
I'm so angry that I'm going to play.
I'm so angry I'm going to go top 8 the next PTQ. You can't stop me. My Soul Forge deck covers.
All right. Remember last week when we talked about F&M? Still stand behind it. Because F&M is the perfect opportunity to put a spotlight on our format. Come on. It's easy to afford. The shop owner could keep multiple copies of all the Standard Pauper cards, probably already has them, and anyone who comes in going, oh, what is this fun, interesting game of card playing that you have? Well, here, son, or daughter, sister, generic human, large boy. Let me show you how to put together a deck. Oh, look, I have 4,000 decks already made. You can actually compete for prizes. Would you like to do this? Sure, I would like to play with the cardboards. I'm telling you, if you want to get people in, there isn't a better way. So, again, how am I going to help? I'll mention the store. I'll mention you. Take pictures. I'll post them. I'll tweet them out. And if you talk about deck lists that won or have some sort of history to the deck list and how it performed, I'll talk about it. Like I said, literally tens of people will hear it. That's tens of people more than had heard about it before. So anyway, get out there, start your campaigns. Like I know Derek Brent already plays Standard Pauper and Paper, which is very cool. It can happen, folks. Let's go out there and make it happen.
And I know I had read on a couple different comments, or at least one comment recently on one of the shows, that another person, their shop owner, was preparing to set up the next Friday Night Magic to be Standard Pauper. And I was like, hey, yeah, let us know how that goes, but I don't think he ever got back to us. So if you're out there and you're listening, unknown Magic player, paper guy, let us know, because
exactly, we want to know.
That's awesome.
All right, I'm going to see if I can get Dan on the phone with us to talk about the Pauper Gauntlet. Dan, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh my gosh, technology has worked, folks. It has worked.
Technology.
It has brought people from across a giant ocean.
Do you know how big that ocean is?
How big is that ocean?
It's really big.
Oh my god.
It's filled with black, cold water.
Ooh, so scary. Now
I
we don't.
much prefer to do it this way than to have to row across that bleeding ocean.
Oh my God! Could you imagine that back way in the day, going from Sweden, just skirting the edge of every one of the, like over to Greenland, Iceland,
every
Nova Scotia.
Tuesday.
Oh yeah, every Tuesday. Yeah,
That would suck.
yes, it would. It would be terrible. Hey, they had a show here for a while? I think it's still going on, called Vikings, where they talked about Viking Age,
Yeah.
and I think
I did watch the first episodes of that.
What'd you think?
It was incredibly, willfully historically incorrect. So they have, Kattegat was the name of their town,
Yeah.
but that's a part of the Baltic Sea. Kattegat is a strait in the Baltic Sea.
Yeah.
So why would the town be called Kattegat? And then they don't know that England exists. Mm-hmm. But in reality, they've been trading with England for 1,000 years.
That's it. They're like, oh, what are these crazy Christian people? We can just raid them with reckless abandon.
And then when the villain decided to randomly enter a duel with a great warrior, then I quit watching.
It seemed a little far-fetched.
But it had some promise, and it was a really great song.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Anyway.
So what are we reviewing here on the TV series Gauntlet?
TV series Gauntlet. Yes, we're going to talk about Gotham, and then we're going to talk about the Flash.
It is cancellation season. It just started.
Yeah,
the first show of the year was canceled, so now there's been 4 more. So it's my favorite time of year.
Watching people's dreams die. Speaking of dreams dying, Dan.
Oh yeah. Nice segue.
Thanks. How's the Gauntlet going, sir?
Well, we did get through round 1 and 2, eliminating 3 decks.
Yeah.
But as I predicted, this round 3 thing was a slaughterhouse.
Ugh.
So we are now down to 48 decks. We have had 26 eliminations in round 3. And there are still decks that haven't played.
Ouch.
Only 5, though, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
And one of them because of Sam, who I was waiting for.
Yes, but if you check your emails...
Yeah, I seen it. Yeah.
Okay, you got it. So you're good. You're set up.
Yes.
So now we can continue forth with this epic slaughter, this battlefield.
So Sam was updating Boris Kitty.
Uh-huh.
Yes, and it was a pretty significant change.
Yes, and both Tricks, the number 2 in the last Gauntlet, and Love Train, the number 3 in the last Gauntlet, have been eliminated.
Yeah,
yes.
I saw.
I wept tears when Love Train died. This salty American tears full of Twinkie filling.
And then we have to talk about the vote back, because after round 4, 3 decks get to be voted back.
Oh, wow.
So we'll have a vote back on MTGO Library, but that's still cool. A couple of weeks in the future.
Right.
I'm on the Love Train vote back wagon.
Yeah, I think you won't be alone on that wagon.
Love Train.
I think I watched that last night, and you get it going the first game. You're like, boom, you did it with the ideal situation. What'd you have? Yep. 3 mana, 2 creatures, and it was just enough to get it going. You're able to cast your Drift of Phantasms. Now you're producing 3 blue mana a turn, or a tap.
I must have had 4 mana, right? 3 for casting the freeze from the real, and 1 for
untaping. You had 3 lands, and you had the not Tinderwall, the Wall of Roots, and the guy who taps for buttloads of mana per defender. Yeah,
Axebane Guardian.
So you had those guys out there. And you're just tapping away, and you throw out the drift so you can tap him for 3. You get it to just enough, and the guy concedes. Well, he should have. I mean, it was very clear what was about to happen. But yeah, that was...
He did eventually concede.
Oh, he did. And that was... I had such high hopes. I thought, oh my gosh, that went great.
You noticed how I clicked so much that I lost my memory?
Yeah.
that was interesting. So, oh, it's Delver. No, it's Delver themed. And then by the time I was done clicking, it was Delver again.
It was Delver. Right. I was like, oh, no, Dan. Oh, Dan.
And that didn't matter, though.
No, he I don't know what could have changed, especially that second game. It was just... He had 2 flip Delvers on turn 3?
Yes.
Oh, God.
And the problem was that it is the nightmare matchup for Love Train.
Yeah, didn't even JPH Snake say that too? He's like, good luck.
Yeah.
Isn't 2 flip Delvers on the 3rd turn the nightmare matchup for insert deck name here?
Yeah,
probably.
That's tough to deal with.
If he has counterspell backup.
Right. So you have turn 3 open mana, 2 flip Delvers. There isn't much you're doing. Because whatever you try to do to counter it, he's going to counter that. Anyway.
Poor Love Train.
It was so sad. And then the music for each one is you're trying to drill it into our brains with each loss. More and more music.
You like the exit music?
Yeah, actually, I think it's kind of cool. I think it's a nice, especially when the person picks it.
Yeah.
Oh, seems fitting.
Oh, it's all picked.
Yeah,
that was only in the beginning when I picked it.
Oh, nice.
Now it's all brewer picked.
That's cool. I like it. I think you give the brewer that last little banner to wave. It's like it at least went out on its own terms. So I don't know.
It was Bava had given me the exit music for Illusory Tricks, but I hadn't seen it when I played. So it was just minutes before.
Oh wow!
It was just an illusion.
Yeah,
would have been nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I was sad the Tricks went out.
Yes, I think that also is a pretty rough matchup against Tron.
Yeah, and that's just, if I remember correctly, there was just typical Tron craziness going on that you just can't stop.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Didn't he hit natural Tron? Like, I thought he did.
Yeah, and I hit natural mana shortage.
Yeah, exactly. That is my biggest complaint with that deck. When I'm playing it like in real paper, I hit the same thing. I'm playing game after game with 3 mana.
Yeah,
and that's it. 3 mana. I mean, it runs remarkably well on 3 mana, but there are some games you just need a lot more than that. Yeah,
that was rough.
Yeah, The hardest part is when you want to play your morph and then unmorph them on the same turn. Ugh. When you're running that short on mana, it's awful.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, but then you need the draw to draw more mana. So what are you gonna do?
Yep.
Oh well. So
guess we are looking at the losses.
Yep, let's look at let's go down the list of our dearly departed.
Oh, those poor decks. I'm trying to stall to find the list.
Right, I feel we should play some dirges in the background.
What was the last deck that was eliminated last
marches?
Week? The crowd's, the people's favorite died. That also Icy Hot Hottie.
It did.
Yes. And David Schaffer's Azorius Kitty.
I saw that.
And to no one's surprise, I couldn't go off with One Land Spy.
No, that was expected.
And I made a fool of myself trying to asking a question from the deck webpage. Somebody had asked why we don't play Destroy the Evidence over the Transmute guy. And of course, that's because we need enough creatures in the deck.
Oh, right.
Otherwise, Destroy the Evidence looked very strong.
Yeah, and that was the Sammy Deluxe version with the extra creatures, just in case you had to exile more of the spirit guides than you should.
Oh.
So, yeah. And then he had the infinite loop in the sideboard with the, it's the, you songs, and then you have a Cavern Harpy and a Grey Merchant.
Uh-huh.
And you're constantly just bouncing your Grey Merchant, bouncing your Cavern Harpy, gaining the life off of the Grey Merchant each time, so you can't really die, and you're slowly like grinding your opponent out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really slow. I think I've seen him do it once. But the sorcery remove creatures from your graveyard from the game kill is a lot faster.
We have a slow combo deck matchup to talk about later when we are done with eliminations.
Okay.
Allies, they were marching off into the sunset.
They did.
Yes.
They did.
Green-white beatdown had a rough time. I had high hopes for that deck, but it was tempered out by a Delver version. Mono blue flyers.
Mono blue flyers. Mm-hmm.
And that's the deck that Yugalar Maddie won the Pauper to the Paper League.
Yes.
Pauper to the People League with way back. Yeah.
It was extremely mid-rangey.
Yes. Yeah.
In a green-white way, but it ran very well in the first two matches. Izzet Splice and Burn checked out versus Torch Resistance.
It sure did.
Very bad matchup for that type of deck.
Yep.
Because it has that built-in life gain.
Talking about bad matchups, we had the Dimir Cypher against Trinket.
Yes.
That was a nightmare.
Ugh. This sounds like a lot of bad runs.
Having said all this, I have done actually, if I lost 26 matches, I have 5 left. There were 6. I must have won 40 matches. Mm-hmm. I'm 40-24 for the round. 40,
oh yeah, and we as we tend to do, we concentrate on the negative, but yeah, you've won quite a bit.
For some reason, my Chrome is not cooperating. Are there any more recent matches, like from the last few days, on MagicGatheringStrat where we lost?
What? Watch Rights lost.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that was horrible.
Yeah, that seemed like that was pretty recently.
That was at least yesterday, if it wasn't today, because I watched it yesterday.
Yeah. Did you scream at me?
No, because you did everything right. You drew a ton of cards, but never once hit your rights. I remember you drew 23 cards in 2 turns and didn't hit a single rights of initiation.
Yeah. Wasn't that the game I still won?
Yeah, because you just had so many tokens out there, you just kept dinking them down. But I made a really big mistake in that match. In the which game?
In both game 2 and 3, I think. I didn't read all the text on Spider Silk Armor.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Not in game 3 because I didn't draw it then, but
yeah.
Yeah, so no, he is attacking me with flyers. What can I do?
Yeah, that's right. I was like going, well, everything has reach. You, okay. We're just not going to do that, huh?
I mean, there's more text on the card.
There really was.
Let's see. Looking at the list, Crypt Songs won, Demiri Teachings won, Persistently Undying did its thing and didn't die.
That match was so sweet.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was like the best matchup ever.
Yeah. Like, those crushers are just kind of worthless against creatures that just keep coming back.
Yeah, and I even got Rancor to bounce.
Did Delverfiend win?
Yes, crushingly. I think Delverfiend hasn't lost a duel.
And then Mono Black Land Destruction won.
Mm-hmm.
That was sweet too.
Yeah, Pesky Clerics lost.
They did.
Try not to go too far back. Bugs and Pigs
Won.
I can't remember if that won.
Oh,
yeah,
yes, it did.
that was like the big surprise. It's like,
No, it was a great matchup too. We played against Infect and it had a lot of removal, so a lot of Edict removal. So that was just pure fun.
And then Azorius Kitty lost to what looks to be some weird deck. Mana Burn lost.
Azorius Kitty lost to...
is it Delver?
It's a Delver version.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Devil's Children and Tortured Toolbox both won.
Yep.
And then Tricks lost, Metalcraft.
Yeah, I was surprised at Devil Children's winning so far. It's been...
It keeps just winning without actually doing the Devil Children thing.
Yeah.
That it's supposed to do.
Hey,
And now
isn't that
let's-
the sign of a good deck? Or
If it can just win. Yeah.
just wins.
Yeah, Devil Children is one of the decks with 3 straight wins.
Thalidol won. Cyphertrix lost. Project X won. Proving
Also
that
without
it's
the combo.
completely unstoppable.
Although on Thalid Bowl, you cracked me up, Dan, because you're kind of tired, and you said 2 times in that game you called it Thalid Bowel. I was like,
at least one was on purpose.
I was gonna say, are you doing that on purpose?
I think they only did it once on purpose.
What was
It's a hard word.
the songs? The songs match. That's right. He emptied your graveyard like twice, but then like killed just enough of your creatures so you could songs them out.
Yeah.
That was amazing. I'm like,
Trip-threatened my creatures, bringing him down to low enough life and giving me enough power for the songs.
that just seemed like a really bad play on his part. I mean, he couldn't tell what was in your hand, but still, I mean. But that was a good matchup.
That was a really good match.
Did you think the extra practice during the Extra Life charity-a-thon that you did, do you think that it helped in any of these
I think
matches?
it definitely helped for Teachings.
Teachings? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Teachings won in a pretty rough matchup as well against Hexproof.
No, and I think just having Obzan, having Dylan involved with Teachings is a great help. So, because I mean, it's his deck, it's his baby now, so.
Yeah, he came in, modified the deck, wrote a no sideboard plan, wrote a couple of tips. It's a great read, his webpage.
Definitely helped me out quite a bit taking that over, because it is a decision tree machine. It's pretty comprehensive, especially since he keeps adding colors to the sideboard.
The sideboard is
updates.
the sideboard sort of gives away the fact that he has been thinking about the deck a lot. Because it's not like the first conclusion you jump to. Hey, what if I have Circle of Protection in my Dimir Teachings?
Right.
Or
Tricky.
3 Pyroblasts.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
So, yeah, we had that big combo matchup, right?
Yeah.
That was maybe the most memorable match in this whole round. Band Presence versus Project X.
Gosh, that was nuts. And okay, so do we think that because at one point when you're going through your combo, you're trying to make more tokens. It looked like it didn't let you.
I hit the 200, I think.
Is that what it is? Now, okay, you know that legacy deck that I played with. You and I played a two-headed giant with it, and one of the combos is not raise the alarm, but oh crap, the one where you get elves every time something gets a -1/-1.
Yeah.
Okay, so that enchantment, I've had it out in a legacy match. I've had 24 elves on the battlefield, and then I Black Sun Zenithed for, I want to say, 12. So that means 24 of those elves got 12 -1/-1, so 24 times 12, and it let that go through. I was also told, I mean, that would have far surpassed the 200 limit. I think they fixed it and then it broke again, because I've done that before and it's crashed both people. Like I played that deck before, got roughly 200, 500 or whatever it is tokens out there, and it's crashed me and my opponent.
Oh.
But then at some point, and this was about a year ago, I played it again and got, I think it was 200. It should have been like 284 tokens, and they all went through. Because when it happened,
would you have noticed if they were just 200?
Yeah, I was taking count, because when that happens, I got to the point where I started asking my opponent. I would say, "Okay, I want to do this. There is a high likelihood it will crash both of our clients. Do you want me to do it? Because I'm not playing for money. You know what I mean?" And often they go, "Let's do it," because everyone has that imp of the perverse saying they want to see the train crash. And I did it, and it went through, and I got, like I said, 284 elves, and I attacked with them, and it worked.
Well, now you know what you should sing when that happens.
What's that? Oh, yeah, elves.
Elves playing with themselves in the Shire.
Wow.
Orcs.
So I realized early in the matchup that my combo was faster to execute than his in pure time.
Yeah, that was
I realized
a great
that if
move.
we just, even if he had Essence Warden out, I could make dudes, and then he could sacrifice, because he was playing Project X, so he could sacrifice, make his carrion feeder big. But him taking longer time meant that he would time out. Mm-hmm. So I went for that, and I had to entertain the viewers at the same time. So I dug deep.
It was awesome. That song was stuck in my head all day long.
Somebody commented that he got an SMS from a friend saying, "Oh, Dan has gone crazy. Go watch this video."
That's fantastic.
And yeah, I had a concert during that video, so that was a lot of fun.
Hey, it was good. It was time well spent.
Yeah, Monoburn beat Affinity. When did we do the last show? That was the 29th?
It was last Tuesday.
Wasn't it Wednesday, like last week?
Oh, Wednesday for you, yeah. Tuesday for us.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. So it was the Torture Toolbox was Tricks 29th, yeah. So it goes back to the Trick versus Tron match. Mm-hmm. And on SNG prop, Shock the Kitty. What happened to that board deck?
Live up to its name.
It died.
Yeah.
Against that Azorius build, tokens build that I've seen a little.
I mean, I'm not Miranda Azorius tokens.
Who does?
I'm just not seeing it. Just seems like mono white tokens would be the better way to go.
Who was it that ran into Dog Biscuit playing his enchantment deck?
Oh, Dog Biscuit. Ugh. Yeah, I don't remember, but
it was Pesky Clerics.
Okay.
Yeah, poor pesky clerics.
One of the first decks that broke Temporal Fissure last year was this Simic Enchantment Storm deck played by Dog Biscuit.
Right.
And he really worked on that deck. And he was interviewed on Pauper's Cage, episode 21. And this was right before the Monoblow Temporal Fissure decks. So it couldn't stand up against other Temporal Fissure decks. But right before that, it was really, really big. And Dog Biscuit won a lot. And now, when Temporal Fissure was banned, one of my first thoughts was, hey, this deck is still around because Cloud of Fairies is around.
Right.
And it has a very reliable infinite mana engine. Much more reliable than Familiars.
Right.
So why haven't we seen it since then? But now he's back, he's playing the deck. He doesn't care if he has Temporal Fissure or not. And he kills you with Torch.
Infinite mana.
Yeah.
Smack a dang in the face.
I was hoping that he would kill me with Compulsive Research. That's like the grindiest kill in Pauper. So I have infinite mana
Compulsive.
and I Compulsive Research you to death.
Just do it over and over again.
Draw your deck.
I've done that.
You have?
I've killed somebody with Compulsive Research. Oh, a long time. I can't even remember how I was getting them back. It was back in Ravnica block, OG Ravnica.
Yeah.
So,
I think very few people think of that advantage of Compulsive Research over Treasure Cruise.
Oh, the ability to make your opponent. That's true. Treasure Cruise says just draw.
Yeah. The Compulsive Research says win after 5 minutes.
Awesome. Well, things have been going straight ahead with the Pauper Gauntlet.
It was what I predicted pretty much. Between 20 and 30 decks will die in this round.
It's lived up to it so far. What do you think? How do you think the next round will fare? What's your call on the percentage?
One interesting thing to think about is that if I lose one more deck,
sure,
the fourth round of this Pauper Gauntlet will be as big as the first round of the last Pauper Gauntlet.
Really?
It had 47 decks.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
So we are now after 2.5 months.
Oh my god!
We can get started.
Now it's time to get started.
Yes.
Now, although the last time you kind of had someone working at odds against a lot of decks entering, so
yes,
this one going much smoother.
Now we know why.
Right. Oh well.
But I'm surprised actually at the amount of interest for these early rounds. There's been a lot of views.
Oh yeah, people love it.
There are more people watching now than did watch last year.
I think the notoriety of last season brought a lot of people, but I gotta say I'm thinking the music and the songs from our friend Dan is what's keeping people coming.
I mean, I've been watching, I watched some of the Grand Prix and stuff, and I think just viewing Magic overall is a little bit down right now. So getting the counts that you're getting on the videos is pretty amazing. So,
and also another thing to note, and Frank Lepore also mentioned this in one of his articles. He's someone who's actually tries to be entertaining and explain, all at the same time while running a deck. But he posted a little video commentary from his Twitter, I think, and he goes, "Come on, guys, this is like the majority of every Magic Twitch stream." And he basically just showed a GIF of somebody just staring at a computer screen, clicking a mouse, not saying anything. And it's really true. There are so many videos out there where the person is either just kind of monotone, deadpan talking about the deck, or saying nothing at all. Like, there's like zero entertainment value, which really goes to show you how much of an asset guys like Marshall and those guys who do the commentary, what they really add to the process, because there is a very small percentage of people who can and are willing to try and entertain while playing a match and filming it.
Like LLR.
Yeah. Those guys
are crazy.
But it's very few, and don't discount, even if you may think your singing is bad, don't discount the entertainment factor, which seems to be sorely lacking from a lot of videos.
Oh, yeah. 5 decks left. Those are Boros Kitty then.
Mm-hmm.
And some decks were updated with cards that I didn't have, so I just collected them all and waited to the end. These are Green Grifters, Mono Red Heroic, People of the Sun, which credit to the brewer there, JS Banks, because People of the Sun is the closest to that White Weenie Tokens deck that is everywhere.
Yeah.
And now he's updated it as well, so it's very close to that deck. So. And Squawk Rights is the last one.
Oh, poor Squawk Rights.
Yeah, I think Squawk Rights threads an interesting space between Watch Rights and Squawks the Plowshares, because it's the control deck with Rights of Initiation win.
Yeah, the problem is that the Rights win doesn't seem like it's that reliable right now. It seems like it's really easy to disrupt. So
much is at control. What the hell?
Yeah, it's in Standard Pauper now, and I guess Izzet Delver is like taking over that, and Burn is taking over Modern.
Yep.
So it's like
you saw that mono black control deck that splashed Treasure Cruise.
Yeah,
Splash Blue.
Cruise NBC.
Yeah, I've seen that on a couple different reports recently. It's mono black splash.
Right, and that's what they're calling it. There was one last week in one of the PREs, Standard Pauper PREs, Mono Black Splash Blue. They basically said NBC small U. Yeah.
And I mean, it works because you just want the little bit of life gain off of the gain lands, and then you want the treasure cruises.
Mm-hmm.
And you're pretty much happy. So.
Yep. So
every brewer I talked about Treasure Cruise with, not everyone, but several has chosen not to include it. So I think it is fairly hyped right now.
Yeah, it is. But man, when people get it to
for
work,
example,
it just
in Azorius Kitty,
yeah,
we didn't find room for it. Neither David or Power T did. Not in Trinket. I think Farf is putting in 1 in Delver Fiend.
Right, and Dylan put 1 into Demiri Teachings.
Yes.
Yeah,
but I think it fits best in Teachings.
It fits good into Teachings, but Teachings has so many other card draw spells already that it really only shines into the late game.
Yeah, Deep Analysis, you get 4 cards. You get to cast it after it has been discarded.
Right.
It has to be countered twice.
Yeah, I like Deep Analysis. It's a good card. All right.
So I suggested to Farf to replace more Gushes with Treasure Cruises, but he preferred the Gushes because 0 is much less than 1.
It's true.
That is true.
Infinitely so.
The 2 together seems really powerful. Seems really, really strong.
Yeah, so it will be 3 Gashes and 1 Treasure Cruise in Delver theme.
Interesting.
What else? We can list the undefeated decks who have won every round.
Yeah, which ones have gone 3-0?
Delver themed.
Delver Famed, which is
5 color
just
green.
solid anyway.
5 color green is still around.
That's
doing
awesome.
its thing.
5 color green.
And nobody knows why. Like, everyone who looks at that deck is that deck and win.
Hey,
And
it
it
could be the
when it's not
Cinderella
the
story.
Gauntlet.
The reality is that deck can't lose.
Oh, snap.
Monoblue Control and Stompy, just winning. Power Chase Azorius Kitty is undefeated.
Yep.
Burn Delver. Familiars.
Oh,
Green 1. Izzet Control. And if somebody wants to step up and be the captain of Izzet Control, I would welcome that, because it's an old list. It doesn't include Treasure Control, Treasure Cruise. And so a captain would be needed for that deck. What else? Beast Down has won every round.
Beast down. That nutty
Tron.
little deck. Oh, Tron.
I think the new
Tron's just
Beast Down
solid.
list is pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Devil Children.
I love that deck. It's awesome.
Elves.
Elves
Hexproof.
also solid. Hexproof always solid.
The Grey Mercenaries, but they didn't do so well in the Extra Life thing.
No, they didn't. But still, I don't. I have become fond of them for some reason. I'm not sure why. But I like
Me
it.
too. Mono Black Land Destruction.
Yep.
Project X.
Woo!
The Rebels.
Rebels.
Those are the undefeated decks.
Really strong showing. I wonder how that stacks up against the current meta. Have you looked at on Goldfish to see what the current Pauper meta looks like?
I think I've learned that the meta on Goldfish does not necessarily reflect the meta in the tournament practice room.
Oh,
It has some
okay.
sort of relevance to each other, but it's not a one-for-one relationship.
Mono Blue Delver 18 decks, Stompy 8, Mono White
Finally,
Token
Stompy back
6.
at number 2.
Yep, Stomp as
Yeah,
well.
Stompy seems so strong right now.
Delver's just crushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you count Delver and Izzet Delver, oh god.
Yeah, but even if you count
23.
only Mono Blue Delver, that's a huge domination.
Yeah, I saw on Twitter this weekend one of the guys from Heavy Meta tweeted out just like Delver's everywhere. Played in some Pauper events this weekend. Just would comment on just how much Delver he saw.
It's just so strong. What can you do?
Not much.
Mono Black is still almost at 10%. They are listing it as 2 different decks for some reason.
Right. Same with there's Mono Black Control, Mono Black Oubliette. What the hell's the
I think
difference?
a lot of it comes down to the specters and the different types of edicts.
Right.
So that's the big difference.
That's
Yeah. Oh, also, there's Mono White Tokens is split across 2 for some reason.
Wow, then we have a lot of Mono White tokens.
9.
Yeah. Interesting. People doubted that White Weenie would ever come back, but here it is.
No way. This is past 2 sets. M15 and the Khans have been pretty good to old Mono White Weenie.
I mean, M15 especially. I mean, Raise the Alarm, Triplicate Spirits. I mean, that's just a lot of gas from 2 cards. So,
But notice how the Eternal this format is, because this is not much different than if you looked at the list 2.5 years ago.
Right. Yeah, there's the Ramashan Rally, which is actually really good.
Yeah.
Ramashan Rally?
Oh yeah, it's an awesome card. If you control a planes, you may tap an untapped creature you control instead of the mana cost, and everything gets +1/+1.
Wow, that's from Mass
Masquerade.
Block?
Yeah.
Something like that. One of those sets did that. That's really good. That's really, really good.
Yeah, there was a... Jason Moore did like a big write-up on Rameshan Rally and why he likes it so much in the deck. Like, this is, gosh, a year and a half, 2 years ago that he wrote about that.
I mean,
it has been popping in and out of the decks.
And he would be the guy that's never given up on mono white or white weenie.
Mm-hmm.
So, it is his baby.
Hey, that's fine. He's the standard bearer, if you will.
Ah.
I think the tokens list is very all-in. It feels a bit like mono, the glass cannon red, because if it works, it works. But if you sort of run into Crypt Rats or Electricure, then you're just dead.
The problem is like a lot of the decks that can run Electrickery, they just don't. Like Goblins doesn't run it in their sideboard or
Why on earth would you not?
I don't know. In the meta where it's just all over the place right now, Electrickery is 2 mana, clear the board, clear your opponent's board.
Exactly.
I mean, it just seems too strong, but thankfully, the decks that I have left, none of them are red-white or anything like that. So,
holy crap! Days is $30.
Yes.
Are you?
Thank you, Vintage Masters.
Are you kidding me?
As soon as I saw that they were reprinting Gush, I knew they were not going to reprint Days. I just knew it.
Oh my god.
At least they could have put it in like the Commander set like they did with Exclude. Of course, I bought my Excludes like 2 months ago for like $4 each. So, but you can't bank on Commander sets. You just can't bank on those ever getting anything for us and Paupers. So,
no, they won't. It kind of sucks, but they have no interest in making anything. When technically everything is kind of printed in each set the exact same number, being that it's a singleton format.
Yeah.
They consider it how many they print across the full print run of Commander. It's kind of a little janky if you ask me, but...
And I mean, I don't necessarily think any of the cards look all that great. Not that I play that format that doesn't exist.
You don't play any Commander?
No, I don't. I'm not a big fan of singleton formats.
Is it like Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny?
What's wrong with the Easter Bunny?
You know, Easter Bunny. You know,
he brings the chocolate eggs.
Yep. I'm sure he does.
Yes, it's awesome.
I find Commander disturbing because it's a format where you're not supposed to win too efficiently. And that's sort of makes me confused.
Well, there are spiky Commander decks, but no, it's a sit around and drink format. It's not a...
That appeals to me. So if I ever would play Paper again, I probably would like to play Commander.
Yeah, because you just sit down and chill out. You try it. You know, sometimes you do big old combos and do cool stuff, or you just sit around and BS and drink beer.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking at the 3 most recent Pauper Daily results, and
Sure.
Dog Biscuit has 402 of them.
Dang, with what deck?
With his Simic Enchantment Storm, now called Green-Blue Aura combo. And it's the deck is entirely unchanged. It has just replaced Temple Fisher with probably a Treasure Cruise and a Torch.
Why is that? Why is it $43?
Which one?
The deck.
Dog Biscuits deck, the snaps.
Snap, Hydroblast.
Yeah.
Serum Visions. Yeah.
Arrows.
Here's your money. Serrated Arrows.
He's running all the cantrips. All the
it is, yes. But he made a very interesting argument for Serum Visions over one of Ponder and Preordain in the podcast.
Why is he running Serum Visions over Brainstorm?
He ran Serum Visions over Ponder, I think, as well, originally. But now he has them all.
Is he doing it just because you get to see 3 cards and draw one?
I think you have to listen to the podcast to understand, because it was... When I heard it, I remember I went, ooh, that's really clever, but then I forgot what his reason was. He's also running a Geomancer, which we haven't seen in a while in Pauper.
It's true.
Sorry about the background noise, guys. Cats are going crazy over here.
What are they doing?
Sound like they're making drinks and then getting mad at each other and throwing them on the ground.
Well, that's pretty much common. They're all gymmed up all the time.
Awesome. So, what else can we say about the Pauper Gauntlet?
It's been very entertaining, and it looks like it's going to go on for quite a while, and that is awesome.
Yeah, if it ended last year in November, and now we are in November, I have as much left
to go as you did.
So February or March, I guess.
Wow. That is going to be a long time.
But I think one of the reasons I wanted more decks was that I could go faster in the later rounds. Because I was sitting around a lot last year.
Mm-hmm.
Doing a round a week.
Yeah, were those the only videos you were doing? Just the one Gauntlet?
No, last year I had a lot of spare time.
Yeah, I thought you did.
They were like, this week I can only do 7 videos.
Right.
But I have been keeping a higher pace this time.
Oh, no kidding. I can barely keep up.
There's some days I wake up and I'm like, how am I going to watch the 12 videos Dan put up?
No, Dan, I didn't need to do any work today.
No, Dan, I didn't need to eat during my lunch hour at work.
Well, today you get to watch Boros Kitty.
Oh,
yes.
Cool.
Or tomorrow.
Oh, God, I hope it wins. Oh, the internet's going to hate me if it doesn't.
If Boros Kitty dies, then I think this might be the Gauntlet where the Tier 1 decks have their revenge over last year.
Oh, I don't even want to think about it. I'm getting acid indigestion.
But it's not like if I play Delver in the tournament practice room, I'm happy if I win 3 out of 4. And I think it's pretty hard to win like 7 more straight matches with Delver.
Right. Man,
I mean, Delver's the consistent king of the format for the reason that it's just an amazing deck. So
also without treasure curves,
doesn't need it.
It ran fine before. It'll run fine without it.
Yeah.
Okay, Dan. Now I have a question for you.
Go right ahead.
How was Swedish Comic-Con?
Oh, it was really sad.
Really?
Yeah, my kid had 1 ticket.
Yeah.
To Comic-Con, writing about the subject was a computer game you really look forward to. And she wrote this great essay on Sims 4.
Sure.
So she won the competition, won 2 tickets to all of Comic-Con.
Nice.
And then she went to a Halloween party.
Uh-huh.
Got stomach sickness.
Oh, no.
Threw up all over her friends, pretty much.
Oh, no.
And then had to stay in bed for the whole weekend.
Oh.
Missed it. She was 1 hour at the convention.
That's terrible.
Yeah, so I felt so sad for her. So I spent Saturday watching Legend of Korra and Miyazaki things with her.
Oh, man.
So that was really sad, actually.
That's awful.
And I have sort of not looked at reviews and opinions about the convention because I'm pretty sorry I missed it too. It was the first time Comic-Con had a Swedish version.
Right. I was hoping that something crazy happened and you got to preview a movie or something ridiculous.
Yeah. If I had gone there, maybe I would have. But no.
Oh well. Well, I hope your daughter's feeling better.
Yeah, she's. How are you feeling about your favorite? Which deck do you think will win the Gauntlet? You can't pick the same deck.
Right. Let me think about this. Boros Kitty's so strong. I'm gonna pick Beast Down for no other reason than everybody's thinking. Why? Well, how can it do it? It's just come out on top so many times. That's what I'm picking.
Oh, that would be awesome! Like, I draw 3 cards. Why would Savage?
Yeah.
Oh, that's like your treasure cruise. Blastoderm hits you.
See? All kinds of awesomeness.
I'm going to pick Power T's Azorius Kitty.
That's
because
fair.
It's a awesome build of that deck. So
yeah, and it also has the Obsan-like Brewer backing. So, but he's not as in touch with the format as Obsan is.
Yeah, I mean,
but he's
and
real,
I'm not
he's
saying
real smart.
Teachings is an amazing deck, and don't get me wrong, it's awesome, but I mean, I don't know, it just feels like Azorius Kitty is just like streets ahead. It's just like when it wins, it's just such a commanding way of winning. So yeah, it's awesome.
I think also the teachings can be overrun by like the tokens deck with a bad draw. But Azorius Kitty has way more resilience in recovering from early problems.
Yeah, when Baba was streaming, we played a silver black match, and I played Tron, and he played Azorius Kitty kicked up to silver black.
Oh,
And the first game, I natural Tron'd, dropped an Artisan, a Kozilek, getting back a Maul Drifter. It wasn't pretty for him. And then game 2, he must have boarded in like 2 more reality acids. That game did not go well for me. So
it's one of the easier matchups in Pauper for Azorius Kitty.
yeah, no, and I'm like, I stayed in it the best I could, but there wasn't a lot I could do. So
That's terrible.
no, it was awesome. It was awesome.
One thing I really liked last year was that the 3 most successful decks were decks that I hadn't played before the Gauntlet. But you can't ignore the fact that those decks I am experienced with have a lot of advantages.
Right.
Like Tron, like Stompy, Trinket,
Right.
Burn. But Burn should crash and burn at some point.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what the future holds.
Alright, next week we'll be able to give you the final numbers for round 3 and we'll be deep into round 4.
Yes. That
And we'll
much
have
closer.
some more deaths.
Oh. Well, we'll hold another candlelight vigil for all of our fallen deck friends.
I can't imagine what the last 10 decks will look like. It's
I hope it's crazy.
yeah.
I don't want to.
Last year was crazy. I think last year was crazily crazy that you can't expect something like that to happen ever again.
That's true.
When we had 7 decks left, there were only 2 decks that people like knew about before. That was Mono Blue Control and Stompy.
Right.
Question for you, Dan. I know we're close to wrapping up. So when Fate Reforged,
Oh yes.
Okay.
when that comes out, you're not going to allow another round of updates?
Yes. The updating has been taking way too much time.
Okay.
People have been using the opportunity to update, which is good, I guess. But after this round, after tomorrow, after Wednesday, the downtime, there are no more updates. And
Till the end.
If something really broken is printed in Fate Reforged, something on the level of Treasure Cruise, pretty much, I will allow updates again. But
okay,
yeah, something like Treasure Cruise or the lands from Khans of Tarkir.
Okay,
because those were what maybe changed my mind, because they changed the format.
Yeah,
they did.
But it has to be something like that, and I guess a card like Electricu wouldn't do it.
No, but those other cards, I mean, yeah, definitely format changing cards.
But it's a small set, so I expect it to have as much impact on Pauper like Born of the Gods had, or Dragonsmiths.
None.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, I guess that's going to wrap up this show for this week.
Yup.
Don't forget MagicGatheringStrat.com, YouTube. Also, Magic Gathering Strat. You're already here. Go ahead and subscribe. We're on iTunes. We have our own podcast, which is this show right here. I put it up on iTunes. Twitter is @MagicGathStrat. We actually did some streaming this weekend from the great continent of Australia. And Facebook, Magic Gathering Strat. A lot of good information goes up there. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Tweet it out. Come on, help us out. We help you in entertainmentness, if that's not a word. But anyway, I appreciate everybody listening. Hope everybody has a good week. And I'm Brennan.
I'm Sam.
I'm Dan.
And this has been the Standard Pauper Show.
Standard Pauper Show!
Standard Pauper Show.